I was mesmerized by the pastel polygons of Starfox 2. While abstract ships swirled in a stop-motion dance in front of me, I kept thinking this was one of the most beautiful games I've played all year. But where I saw art, others who stopped by to check out Starfox 2 just saw a blur of awkwardly rotating triangles at about 10 frames a second. Setting aside my appreciation for game history and nostalgia, Starfox 2 is kind of a hot mess. Starfox 2's primitive 3D is so jarringly bad that Nintendo actually canceled it in 1995 because it didn't look good alongside the groundbreaking 3D of the Nintendo 64.
Hold it!
One of the greatest tragedies of the Super Nintendo era was the cancellation of Starfox 2. So, why was this? Well, according to Starfox 2's developer, Argonauts, the truth is Miyamoto wanted to harvest its code and assets to improve other games he was working on at the time. Nintendo used a ton of Argonauts' codes and concepts without ever paying them a single penny. Reading into this, it appears Shigsy did this simply because he didn't want to be shown up at his own game. Starfox 2 and Starfox 64 were both in development at the same time at one point in their cycles. But Miyamoto was struggling with their Nintendo 64 outing, and was frustrated that the game running on vastly inferior 16-bit hardware was ironically vastly superior to his creation. At first he tried to gimp the SNES version, such as demanding they remove the open world dogfighting and make it more on rails, something Argonaut was highly opposed to, as well as nixing roguelike battles in the game rather than set enemy courses, before finally deciding to cancel the game altogether and harvest its concepts, thus giving Starfox 64 the best chance of looking more impressive. Also around this time, Nintendo cut all ties with Argonauts, making them feel even more betrayed.
It barely runs on the SNES hardware, or even on its new home in the SNES Classic Edition. But if you can stomach the terrible frame rate, it is playable, enough that I could beat it on hard. Sometimes, it's even enjoyable. To win, you'll need to defeat your enemies in space combat, and that's when things fall apart. It's incredibly difficult to control your ship and aim at the same time with the SNES D-pad, especially with the graphical slowdown. It's even harder to dodge incoming fire. I found myself barrel rolling wildly in space and strafing non-stop on the ground, just mashing the laser button and hoping for the best. But failing in Star Fox 2 isn't so bad. Games are short. I beat normal mode in 45 minutes and hard mode in an hour. These control problems make Star Fox 2 the worst game in the SNES Classic Edition. It probably deserved to get cancelled, but it also deserved to see the light of day, and I'm glad I got to play this piece of gaming history.